Hello and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'm drawing a sword. You probably read the title. I'm drawing a sword. Well, not specifically one, multiple probably. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with one. And we'll draw some smaller ones on the side. Now, what type of blade are we going to want to do? Since it's a big one, we can go with a greatsword, because they're big. That's what we'll do. Make a big giant sword, and then we'll draw some smaller daggers to go alongside with it. Now, this is not any blade in particular, kind of just thinking of blade and drawing. But I'm going to try to make it look cool, more than just blade. Alright, that's how long we'll have it. Might make it a little longer or shorter, just because of just how it's going to end up. We're going to want to add some detail to it, because of we want it to look cool. So we're going to add some shapes there, do this. And then we're gonna give it that cool looking like tip. We're gonna bring it in, then we're gonna bring it out. And then that's not exactly how we want it. We want this pointed up more. But that's kind of long. So what if we go like that? Well, we're gonna need to erase all this to be able to show what I'm doing, but we want it kind of like that. And then we're going to want to do the other side so we can connect those the correct way. And how is the other side gonna look? Well, we're gonna want to give it detail too. I don't really know what I'm doing with the details, just kind of adding something. Not really specifically going for any sort of style. I am accidentally narrowing the blade a little bit as it goes further, which is unintentional, but I don't think it's too noticeable. There we go, and then we'll go like this. It's supposed to just look like this, but I'm trying to give it more detail, but it's not working because I'm not doing it entirely correctly. Let's try adding a little bit more detail before we add the tip. Maybe it'll be easier if there's more in the blade. I don't really know if that'll be true, but we're gonna pretend like it is. Now, what are these? What is the purpose that these serve besides looking cool? I don't know. Let's go ahead and give the sword a core of some sort. Why is there a core in this sword? I don't know. But there is. What purpose does the core serve? Who knows? But if it has some sort of core, then it can be some sort of sword with energy in it. Therefore, it's a technologically advanced sword. There's a hair on my sketchbook. So if it's a technologically advanced sword, we can also add some glow right here, or this would-be glow. Obviously, you can't really tell that it's glow here because it's all pencil, but this is what it would look like. We're going to sharpen my pencil. Alright, just a little bit because I'm lazy. Now, how are we gonna get this to look correct. There's that shape. There. But we need this to reach out pretty far to give us this part of the blade. That's okay. Not perfect, but I think it's decent. We could also add some little circle screws kind of throughout, you know, since it's like technology. Now, how are we going to do this handle? Well, first we should probably center the handle because it's not exactly centered. Alright, center probably about here-ish. Just a little more to the side than it was. Well, a handle doesn't exactly need to be technologically advanced, right? A handle can just be a handle. We'll do that. And we'll give it a little bit of detail on the handle. Because, well, we can. It's a fantasy sword. Doesn't need to just be normal looking. There we go. What are we gonna do for this? That's a little too tooty. That's fine. Do that to connect those two also. And there we go. There's a handle. There'll probably be a wrapper on the handle too, but we'll just go like this. There's a sword. What a beautiful sword it is. We should also go like that. Now, let's add some daggers, and I guess we can give the daggers somewhat the same theme of being like kind of futuristic swords or whatever, because we made that a futuristic sword, so let's make the daggers futuristic swords. Usually I just draw whatever dagger kind of comes to mind, or whatever blades come to mind, like I did with this one, but I guess we'll try to actually think of something for this. Now let's keep a straight blade. And then go like this. Now this is a little small. Let's go ahead and make it a little bigger just so I can add more detail. Alright. Go ahead and go like that. There we go. I am curving it a little bit, but that isn't intentional. There we have that. One with adding the core to the weapon. What type of core is this? I don't know. It's red, because red is cool. I would add some wiring-ish type of stuff here, but I'm trying to come up with something to do with the handle. Alright, this is dagger, future, robot. Okay, we'll just give it no crossguard. This is kind of bending, and I don't like that it is. And you know what? We're going to give it a little bit of a crossguard. Very small amount of crossguard. Then we're going to make the handle. And we need to make the handle something that your hand won't, you know, slip off of, so we have to give it a bottom, and then we'll give it a shape right here. What kind of shape? I don't know. Let me think. It's beautiful. I have no idea. And it will just be the same lines that it was. There we go. Then we'll also need to go like this, add the detail that we wanted to add, just kind of put a circuit breaker, or not circuit breakers, circuit boards? Is that what they're called? Circuit boards, yeah. Kind of what circuit boards look like is what I'm imagining. Yeah, that's decent looking. That's okay. Not exactly like perfect or anything, but that looks decent. The handle's a little large. That one's definitely better, but I did spend a lot more time on that one than I did this one. But that did kind of give me an idea for one. What if we take... This is no longer futuristic. What if we take that core design that we were using, make it into an eye, encase that eye into a handle, crack your fingers because that's necessary, except for you cracked them relatively, or no, recently I mean, so they didn't really crack that much. Do that, and then you do a little circle right here for the handle, and then you do part of the guard, and then you sit up because my arm hurts. Alright, let's bring this up to like halfway point because I don't know. We should be bringing that out farther. Hello, lots of hair of mine. It's still on me. Alright, we're gonna need to bring that out a little farther. That's not the bestest on what we want it to look like, but you know, it's fine. Then we'll bring this up. There we go. But we're gonna want to point that, but we'll deal with that when we do this one. Alright, point it out a little bit, but not a lot. And then do that. And make this bigger. There we go. That actually looks pretty darn good if I do say so myself. And we go like this. I want to add like a triangle, kind of like right there, to like make this more oddly shaped, you know, so it's not as uniform. Right, and we're gonna need to move that. That's fine enough, I guess, again. Okie dokie. There we go. Now we're going to want to do another blade. get the blade in here. We might have kind of put this in the wrong area and not be able to put the blade up, but you know, that's fine. Alright. This could be a blade or a dagger, but I guess we'll make it a dagger for the sake of we don't have enough room for an actual full blade. That's a little iffy, but you know, whatever. With the blade, we'll try to give some detail to the blade too, you know. But it's not a ton of detail I can exactly give it. There we go, that's connected. How are we going to do this handle? We'll do another bit right here connected to here. That's uneven. There we go. Then like tufts of hair coming out of there. And then there's handle. And then do that again. And more tufts of hair, you know? Like as if it's like fur to protect your hand from, I don't know, maybe it absorbs the blood. So that your blade will not get slippery. There we go, and then we'll add just some detail down here as an extra detailed measure. There we go. What is that? I don't know, a rock or something? Maybe a gem. That's decent, but it is lacking detail. It's a good shape, but it's lacking detail. So how do we add detail to it? Well, we can go like this. Add something in here. There we go. Add some veins coming from the eye. There we go, and go ahead and add some of that. Some of that. Make this a little better. Bring that out a little farther, you know. Okay, that's I think about as good as I'm gonna end up getting it. I think I'm gonna end this here. There is only 3 blades, and I did kind of rub that one away a bit, but I like how these turned out. I'm gonna go to bed.